Hey, hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you a pro level replay. This is MYM versus Navi in the Battle of Masters Liteforex Cup. So hopefully we'll see a really awesome game today. It came from very highly rated on GhostGamers.net, obviously where I pulled this replay from. And it looks like Artstyle is of course going to be picking for his team Navi. And Malk is going to be picking for MYM. So first ban out of the gate is a Furion. That's really weird. I haven't watched a ton of replays in the last week, but a Furion right out of the gate is really, I wouldn't have expected that. I mean, I know Furion can be used very effectively. I did see a game today where Furion was being used. He didn't even have boots. He was just kind of TPing around the map and had a hand of Midas and was farming up pretty fast. But maybe MYM really likes using Furion in the strategies, and that's why they're banning him right off the bat. Not quite sure. Maybe that'll be more of a meta game in the future, but for now I'm going to be, and we'll continue to be confused. First ban coming from MYM is going to be a Nerubian Assassin, or excuse me, Nerubian Weaver. I always get those two messed up. And the next ban coming out of Navi is going to be a Lycan. Lycan is a very popular ban right now. He's way too easy to farm up in the jungle. And if you have a slightly bad early game and you don't have a lot of chances to go and gank him, he can be a pain in the ass pretty much. So he does ridiculously good damage with his ultimate, as long as the enemies aren't running away full speed. So if you can get stuns down and have Lycan roll up and start doing some auto attacking, he can take out those squish heroes really fast. And his wolves are also super annoying. If you're playing like Alina or a Vengeful Spirit or something, you just launch the wolves away and then you do something else, and sometimes you get lucky and you get a kill. So that's more like a teamfight scenario, but yeah. MYM's going to be banning Invoker next, very common ban there. Invoker has so much capability, can fit a lot of different roles, and the final first round ban for Navi is going to be the Shadow Demon. I still haven't seen Shadow Demon used in a lot of games quite yet, but he is well deserved to be banned. He has so much utility. He can set up ridiculously easy ganks and ridiculously easy combos. Just do a banish and follow up with an AoE stun. That's usually the easiest way to do it. Or even a single target stun. Plus with Soul Catcher, I mean, you can just nuke people down so ridiculously fast. And his ult is just ridiculously good as well. So final ban for MYM is going to be the Lone Druid. And the first pick for Navi is going to be a Bat Rider straight out the gate. Bat Rider's been a powerful hero for quite a while now. He doesn't have too much armor left to nerf, I believe. I think he has 2 or 3 base armor at this point in the game. He did have higher before, but he's kind of had a series of nerfs ever since he's been released. They haven't been extremely consistent. But once people started maxing Napalm over Firefly, he became one of the best laners in the game, basically. Once people finally really figured out how to absolutely dominate with him early game, so just stack that Napalm and go for a dive, and then you end up getting kills. So we'll see who MYM responds with. They're going to have to get a really good laner, that's for sure, somebody that at least has some survivability against Bat Rider. But there's lots of really powerful carries, or lots of really powerful heroes still in the game. We could see Pugnas get picked up this game. We could see Lich is still in the pool. Lich could get picked up. We could see... I wish I could click on heroes. I can't look up every... I'm sorry, I always forget. Once you get to the point where all of the heroes are being picked, you forget who's in the pool, but they're taking their sweet time here. They're already through their extra time, or the regular time, excuse me. Now they're cutting into their extra time. I'm going to pick up a Clockwork, of course. Clockwork, I didn't think of Clockwork. Clockwork getting picked up first pick. It's going to give them a really easy solo on the long lane. Just going to be CSing while harassing with those rockets. And for their second pick, they could also go for a Vengeful Spirit. They're going to go for a Spectre, actually. A pretty early Spectre pick, though he does get banned second round semi-commonly. It does happen, so if they really want to go for a late game carry session, Spectre is the way to go, so they're going to pick up that Spectre there. So we're going to have a Spectre with a Clockwork for MYM, and we'll see who they end up with next. We have a ping on the bot lane, but I'm assuming that was one of the replay watchers. Wilco is actually in this game here. And for Navi, we'll see who they round out with the next couple picks. Undoubtedly will be an awesome game so far. Yeah. We can look at some players quick while we're sitting here taking our time on the picks. I'm sure you guys know who most of these heroes are already, but we have Ava 1, we have Mania, Kings, PSTR, and Malk. Surprisingly enough, Demon is not in this game. Demon's been MOM for a while here, and perhaps he couldn't make this game or something, but they might have had a sub, something like that, not quite sure. A ridiculous amount of pinging going down on the mini-map, that's for darn sure, but yeah, once again, unless Demon's playing against a different name, or on a different name. He's not actually in this game, so that's atypical for sure. Last two picks going for the first round, going down for Navi, is going to be a Lich and an Enigma, and that's going to give them a lot of deny capability. They're going to be constantly despawning their units or killing their units, and hopefully that'll work in their favor. They might end up laning the Lich against Clockwork or something. He might get no tri-lane, it's possible, but jungling Enigma is always a possibility, and Batrider's undoubtedly going to solo, probably mid, though maybe a long lane as well, so we'll see how that rounds out in the future. 10 seconds left for Melk before he has to pick. He's going to pick up a Venomancer. Venomancer also a very popular ban nowadays, especially in the second round. He doesn't quite have the status of a first round ban quite yet, but second round he is commonly banned. So if you can get those really fast levels on Venomancer, whether you go nuking with Venomous Gale and your Orb, or you max wards first, either option is actually really effective. And if you can get a really high level ult, like if you can hit level 11 pretty fast, his ult does, I think, 50-ish damage over like 12 ticks or something. It's a really good AoE, does a lot of damage. It's not instantaneous, of course, but the damage over time is quite useful if you can get that off. So second round bans going down for Navi is going to be a Pugna. They do really like doing kind of push strategies, or at least having more towers than their opponents. So maybe we'll see an enchant get picked up by them in the future. I'm kind of surprised enchant hasn't been banned yet. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 picks enchant will get banned, but enchant does get banned sometimes now. You use those creeps to do some pushing, and it's pretty much a super easy jungle as well. Necrolite getting picked up, or banned, excuse me, for MYM, so they were expecting Navi to go for that for a pick, and it could have worked out pretty well, I would agree. Giving a little bit of heal to your teammates, and Necrolite has been a very big staple of Dota for a really long time. Not quite as much as like Priests of the Moon or Windrunner. I mean, obviously Windrunner isn't as old as Priests of the Moon by any means, but definitely a good staple. Necrolite hasn't seen very much play lately, but honestly, he's still a very powerful hero. He just needs a little bit of farm and some good tank before he can make a lot happen. So just not too popular in the current metagame, and that's just how it goes sometimes. So, but they're expecting a Necrolite pick, and they're going to go for that ban there. And now, excuse me, I'm blocking the time. There we go, 3 seconds left of their main time. They have 80 seconds here to figure out who the last ban is going to be for their team. They are still looking at a third tri-laner if the Venomancer is in the tri-lane. If not, they have 2 other tri-lane options. So I think something, Witch Doctor is always the go-to ban when you want to ban a tri-lane hero, especially against an Enigma, actually. I think that would be really smart, and up there good. They are going to ban that Enchantress, but Witch Doctor is such a pain in the ass to fight if you're playing an Enigma, especially if you don't have your Black King bar, which usually is the case. You're not going to be able to farm that up. So those bounces can launch around, and if you get an awesome Black Hole off, it can be just an absolute unfortunate scenario if that Witch Doctor cask does happen to bounce your way and interrupt that really good nuke, or a really good ult, excuse me. So they did ban the Enchantress. I think that was pretty smart, considering they could have done like a semi-push strategy with the Venomancer and the Enchantress. That's quite a bit of push right there, and that could put on enough pressure to give the Spectre more farm and get him into Rape Fest mode. Once he gets that Vanguard, he can actually start doing ganks and kills and stuff like that, and diving. And then they transition to a Boots usually, and then from there they get their Radiance, and once he has the Radiance, it's kind of tough to pick him off. The only times that I've really seen games where Spectre gets shut down really hard once after he has the farm is kind of in mid-game ganks. I mean, of course, you can always early gank him or whatever, but once he already has the cash, you kind of need really hard disables and chain disables where your whole team is just wailing the crap out of him with stuns and nukes and auto attacks. So that's usually where you see him getting rocked. And wow, MYM is going to ban an Obsidian Destroyer for their last ban. Very interesting that they would choose that. It combos really well with Batrider. Batrider could have pretty much full mana constantly because he can do Sticky Napalm and proc off that Essence Aura to get mana. I did see a OD, I think the last game I casted actually had the OD, and he went a support build. He picked up a Mechanism, and it worked pretty darn good. And he kind of turned into a semi-carry later in the game as he continued some killing, so that was pretty cool. And looks like Navi's going to be going for a Chen, which is really awesome. I love seeing Chen played. It's pretty much like Enchantress in a lot of ways, except not as much semi-carry potential late game. But he can pick up those creeps pretty early, and he has really good utility, and he can jungle. So currently, I mean, we could see maybe an Enigma jungler with a Chen. That'd be kind of cool. And then with 3 solos, that I know that's been very popular lately, is to have 3 solos, 1 in each lane, and then you put 2 people in the jungle who just end up jungling and ganking and stuff like that. So, and wow, how did I not notice AA had not been banned yet? I mean, people, man, sometimes the heroes that have just been constant bans for the last however many months, like the last month or 2 since AA was put in the map pool. I think it's been more than that, sorry, but yeah, AA is just, honestly, he barely ever sees play in my opinion. He's almost always banned or picked. If we looked at statistics for that hero, I could pretty much guarantee that he's in the 90% range for either being banned or either being picked, and that means he is extremely well favored. Doesn't mean he's necessarily extremely good, though AA is super good in my opinion. It just says that every single team either scares him enough that they don't want to fight him for this particular match lineup that they're going to go for, or they most definitely can't go without picking him, and they're going to pick a Chaos Knight for their last pick. That is super weird. I've honestly, I've had super high value in Chaos Knight for quite a while. At least it's just hard to put him in lanes. We did see some Chaos Knights going for like a fast soul ring and just kind of roaming and ganking all game, and I think that's really effective because he has that beast stun if you can get lucky. Once you get to level 3, or once the stun is leveled to level 3 at level 5, then you can get a 2 to 4 second stun, I believe, or 1 to 4. It's a 1 to 4 second, excuse me, a 1 to 4 second stun. And if you get some lucky stuns off, I mean, that can be the difference between you owning a gank and you not owning a gank, because there's really not a lot of stuns that go that high, that's for darn sure. And basically, Chaos Knight's problem is that he doesn't have enough HP, and his mana pool is disgustingly low, and his spells are actually really high cost. So he did recently get a strength buff. He got +3 base strength, which is going to give him a total of 57 HP, 57 extra starting HP, which is pretty good. So that'll be really cool. And last pick from MYM is going to be a Earthshaker. So these two picks right here are very common first rounds, but they made it to the second round, so interesting stuff. Alright, King S is going to be playing the Ancient Apparition. PSTR is going to be Razor PSTR is going to be playing the Venomancer. Razor Ava is going to be playing the Spectre. Mania is going to be playing the Earthshaker. And Malk is going to be playing that Clockwork Goblin. Looks like the AA is swinging mid. He does have pretty good items for CSing here. Got +8 on his damage right now. PSTR is going to be wishing good luck, have fun, more good lucks from the enemy team. For the art style, is going to be playing this Chaos Knight, and it looks like he's going to be soloing top possibly. He does have good base HP here because he did pick up those gaunts of strength, but without that, he's only got 20 strength. It's actually quite low. And we also have the Bat Rider. Looks like it's going to be Dundee. He's going to be possibly soloing a mid, and I expect the Chen to be jungling. Looks like Lich is bot lane with some boots, and Enigma's also down there. Wow, did he really just... Wow, he busted ass to get down there. He might have even used a TP scroll to get there that fast, I think. He does have 0 gold. Looks like he was getting stuff purchased. I'm pretty sure... Oh, 5 clarity potions. Holy crap. He's going to be casting so many of his little demon things. The Eidolons. I think it's called, like, conversion or something like that. That's 200, 250, 350 plus that. I guess he did not get a TP scroll. He must have just, like, immediately booked it unless somebody else bought him that ward. I think that was really smart to do. He got there so fast. He immediately bought the wards, and he just boosted. He just launched himself towards that spot because smoke ganks are kind of popular down in this area. Or just general team roaming, and if you do get encountered pretty early, you can get killed. So if you bought that first item and just booked it, you could definitely drop the ward, and he actually made it a good job. He just killed one of the creep waves mid, I believe, so we're only seeing 3 creeps here, which is going to be a little bit less EXP going for A, but looks like Earthshaker kind of looking like he wanted to make something happen. He does have Sticking Napalm level 1, so if he does get fissure blocked, he will not be able to just go right over that, and once again, the Chen is going to be doing a little bit of jungling, just gonna pick up a Soul Master at the bet. He might have gone for a chicken. That's 350 or 325. That's pretty expensive. He might have gotten a TP scroll. He might have gotten that TP scroll for Puppy. I don't really know how else he would have gotten there so fast. But Bat Rider very low already. Looks like they did end up fissure blocking him. He pops his salve to try to get some HP. Earthshaker does not yet have a fissure there. The fissure goes down with that cold feet, and that's gonna be the first blood of this game. So really nice play there by MYM, getting that first blood on Dundee playing that Bat Rider. So sorry I missed most of that, but they must have gotten a fissure block. He probably booked it down this way. He's still level 1, so he did not actually have Firefly. That's really unfortunate for him. And a little bit of follow-up from the A. He spends all of his mana, but he did end up getting the pick off there, so really nice play. Bot lane, the Venomancer looks like he's playing a support role, but it's kind of a dual lane, so this is kind of interesting. Looks like Spectre is just going to be solo